Good morning, y'all. It's Saturday. Normally I would still be in my living room in my PJs with the boy, but I have not got a chance to vlog yet today because I've been running around like a raped ape since like 9:30 yesterday morning, trying to get ready for this race today, which I'm 17 minutes late for as we speak. Races don't start till 10. They wanted people there to register at 9. I'm probably gonna get there in like 10 minutes.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Prospect Road.
Turn left on Prospect Road. Yeah, I was pretty fucking salty last night, or this morning technically, when I realized that there's no start time, no address, no nothing.
Turn left onto Prospect Road.
For this race. And didn't think that it started so early. Had to call my dad at 7 o'clock this morning and be like, hey, can you show up 2 hours earlier than we planned?
For 3 miles. And
thankfully my dad is the coolest fucking person on the planet. And he did. He showed up when I needed him to. Hopefully I have everything. I don't even know. I'm sure I've got the bare necessities, but I also took the Blade for its maiden voyage this morning. I had to dick around to get the thing set up, but I did. It was awfully windy when I was flying it, but it was fun. It's a legit little race quad. It's awesome. Did a roll and a flip and all that stuff. It was not handling the wind very well. It was getting tossed around. And at one point, I was at a good pitch and wasn't moving because it was fighting the wind. But yeah, I barely opened her up. So it's gonna be fun learning how to, or getting to know that thing. But I think I'm relatively close to where I need to be. So I will see you guys later. Wish me luck. Hopefully I win something cool. All right, bye.
Just got up, something's wrong. I waited up with wounds on my feet. Where will you be? Flickering through memories, the Polaroids yellowed in the sun, longing to be seen. So come and hide, hide with me, hide with me.
that at the very least was interesting. I think it was fun. It was a learning experience, that's for sure. I did not get one lap in during a race. I got 3 laps in during a practice race, and that's it. The first practice race, I couldn't get it to arm. The second practice race, I got 3 laps in, 3 sloppy laps, and I do believe I have DVR footage of that at least. First actual race, couldn't get it to arm. Second actual race, it armed. Second I took off, I basically lost all video. It came back and I was like 45,000 feet in the air. And then went out again and came back. And it came back just in time to show me smashing right into a gate. My camera took a pretty good hit. My video went out immediately, then came back in, and I tried to flip it over, and yeah, in the process, just absolutely caking my quad with grass. And yeah, so it was pretty much a failure, the whole event. I never got a raffle ticket either, now that I think about it, so no, my luck, the one I would have picked probably would have gotten picked and I would have won some sweet ass motors. Oh well, I've said from day one that I'm not really interested in racing. I'm more interested in freestyle and having fun by myself at a park or maybe with a friend. And I'm not gonna lie, this day definitely made me a little bit more solid on that opinion. It didn't help that it was cold as fuck and windy as hell, and not to mention I had to leave early. So I believe there was one more race left that I was supposed to, or in theory, was gonna be in. But I have to leave. I have to be home by 2:30 to relieve my father, who was kind enough to watch the kid for me today, and then come in at the last minute 2 hours earlier than we had planned on, because I didn't know what the hell this time what time this event was starting, because I couldn't find it on Facebook. People claimed that it was there, but I sure looked all over. I couldn't see it. Anywho, but yeah, it is what it is. It was learning experience. I'm sure on a warmer day where I don't have to worry about time and shit like that, and it would have been more fun, but then I basically paid $10 to freeze my ass off and do almost no racing. So, yeah. But me and Steve are off to a park to rip the rest of our pecs so we don't ruin our batteries. I'm gonna fly the Blade as well. I believe that my race quad still works. I'll have to clean it up a little bit before I fly it, but I believe it still works. And yeah, we'll see you later. Howdy y'all. It's a whiskey sour kind of evening. So, where to begin? Looking back on the day, I think it was fun. I'll do it again. I just need to get my shit more dialed in. And by my shit, I mean my equipment, my skills, a better camera for my 5-inch. Yeah, a buzzer because I really did not like the fact that I didn't have a buzzer or a beep or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it wasn't like ecstatic from the race, from the get-go. And then I stopped at a park and ripped a couple packs after the race because I left early and I had about 20 minutes to kill. So yeah. And then I got home and I plugged in my charger and it turned on and beeped and looked like it was doing the same thing it does every time, and then it just turned off. And yeah, could not get it to turn back on. And still doesn't turn back on. So my charger is shot. Which is awesome because all 3 of my 4 cells are dead. And if it wasn't for my new buddy Steve, I'd be fucked because I'd either have to like go out and spend money I don't have on a new charger right away before my battery started to get wrecked from sitting being dead, or I would just have 3 wrecked 4 cells. But apparently he has a extra 3-cell 4-cell charger sitting around that he's gonna let me use until I can get another charger. So good on you, mate. That's super solid. Yeah, after that happened, I was done. I was ready to put everything I had on Craigslist and been like, look, $400 gets you everything. And it's easily, $600 worth of shit. But I just calmed down and breathed through it and said, screw it, let's just spend a little more money. And I went to the hardware store and finally got a soldering gun. It's a cheapo. I did exactly what everybody told me not to do. It's cheap on a soldering gun, but I needed one, and and eventually we'll get a good soldering station, and this will just be a backup one. It was $11, so what really do I have to lose? And it worked just fine. Worked fine. And a glue gun. Yeah, so a solder gun, glue gun, and glue. So I could come home and put this guy together. Yeah. I finally have a legit, all working order tiny whoop. That crazy pony camera, it's badass. It looks like I am flying with a giant screen TV compared to the stock Inductrix cam. I did my first super finicky soldering down there for the camera. I was nervous as hell. I didn't want to blow another $26. But I just did it. I said screw it, and I think I did a really good job. And I bought a little soldering station type thing, not like where you can like put the thing in it, but that has the 2 prongs with an alligator clip and a magnifying glass. I didn't use the magnifying glass to actually solder because it was too wonky, but I did use the magnifying glass to inspect it afterwards to make damn sure that there was no bridge to make a short or anything, and that really did actually come in handy. And plugged her in. She fired right up. No smoke, no nothing. quick grabbed my goggles. Quick grabbed my goggles. Hit power and poof, a beautiful display. And I was just like, yes. So yeah, shortly after, I took her for its maiden flight. I forgot that I broadcast everything to the world now, so I was in my boxers, and I don't care. I'm still gonna put it up. So if you don't want to see me flying around in my boxers, I suggest you click away in a minute or two. Howdy y'all. It's a whiskey sour kind of evening. So, where to begin? Looking back on the day, I think it was fun. I'll do it again. I just need to get my shit more dialed in. And by my shit, I mean my equipment, my skills, a better camera for my 5-inch. Yeah, a buzzer, because I really did not like the fact that I didn't have a buzzer or a beep or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it wasn't like ecstatic from the race, from the get-go. And then I stopped at the park and ripped a couple packs after the race, because I left early and I had about 20 minutes to kill. So yeah, and then I got home and I plugged in my charger and it turned on and beeped and looked like it was doing the same thing it does every time, and then it just turned off. And yeah, could not get it to turn back on. It still doesn't turn back on. So my charger is shot, which is awesome because all 3 of my 4 cells are dead. And if it wasn't for my new buddy Steve, I'd be fucked, because I'd either have to like go out and spend money I don't have on a new charger right away before my battery started to get wrecked from sitting being dead, or I would just have 3 wrecked 4 cells. But apparently he has a extra 3-cell, 4-cell charger sitting around that he's gonna let me use until I can get another charger. So good on you, mate. That's super solid. Yeah, after that happened, I was done. I was ready to put everything I had on Craigslist and been like, look, $400 gets you everything. And it's easily, $600 worth of shit. But I just calmed down and breathed through it and said, screw it, let's just spend a little more money. And I went to the hardware store and finally got a soldering gun. It's a cheapo. I did exactly what everybody told me not to do. It's cheap on a soldering gun, but I needed one, and and eventually we'll get a good soldering station, and this will just be a backup one. It was $11, so what really do I have to lose? And it worked just fine. Worked fine. And a glue gun. Yeah, so a solder gun, glue gun, and glue. So I could come home and put this guy together. Yeah. finally have a legit, all working order tiny whoop. That crazy pony camera, it's badass. It looks like I am flying with a giant screen TV compared to the stock Inductrix cam. I did my first super finicky soldering down there for the camera. I was nervous as hell. I didn't want to blow another $26. But I just did it. I said screw it, and I think I did a really good job. And I bought a little soldering station type thing, not like, where you can like put the thing in it, but that has the two prongs with an alligator clip and a magnifying glass. I didn't use the magnifying glass to actually solder because it was too wonky, but I did use the magnifying glass to inspect it afterwards to make damn sure that there was no bridge to make a short or anything, and that really did actually come in handy. And plugged her in. She fired right up. No smoke, no nothing. Quick grabbed my goggles. Quick grabbed my goggles. Hit power and poof, a beautiful display. And I was just like, yes. So yeah. Shortly after, I took her for its maiden flight. I forgot that I broadcast everything to the world now, so I was in my boxers, and I don't care. I'm still gonna put it up. So if you don't want to see me flying around in my boxers, I suggest you click away in a minute or two, because I'm gonna end this vlog with flight footage from the race. The only 3 laps I did, I believe I have that recorded. I can't remember if I went through all this already, but basically I did 2 practice laps, 2 practice races, and a 1 legit race. First practice race, never got off the starting block because I was dumb and I still had my quad set up for this beautiful piece of machinery, which I'll get to. Still had it in this mode, and they have strict rules that like once you're out there and quads are up, that's it, you're fucked. And with Spectrum and crap like that, you have to unplug your quad and plug it back in to arm once you've fucked up. So that was out. First practice race was out. Never got off the starting block. Second one, everything worked. Got up, flew around. I got 3 laps in. 3 laps. And didn't crash or nothing, and actually landed in the area where you're supposed to land. So yeah, that one went good. First legit race. That's right, I did technically do 2 legit races, but on the first one never got off the starting block. Because apparently I have a failsafe in my flight controller that if I am just like a little like wah, and I go to arm because the battery sits underneath it, and I was like this, it wouldn't arm. So thanks to everybody there, they knew what the issue was, and somebody had a laptop, and we just threw her into beta flight and changed that failsafe, and now it can be like fucking upside down and it can arm. So and I know that for a fact because during my second legit race, I was having super shitty video issues
Somebody was stomping all over my signal, and Steve claims I was stomping all over everybody else's signal, but I don't know how that works. I don't know if I'm stomping all over everybody's signal. How come I have shitty video? I should have awesome video, but I don't know how that shit works. But anywho, maybe you can explain that to me sometime, Steve. Where was I going? Oh yeah, so yeah. And they said just wait, let everybody take off and get away from you, and you should have good video again. And that happened. I took off, had great video after everybody was away from me, and then I got like 50 feet out there, and video went completely gone. It was static, just was snow, and I don't know what happened. When it came back, I was like 55 feet in the air, and I tried to come back down and get back into the track, and I was fine, and I was online, and I was lining up for the first gate, and then poof, no more video again, and I was like, whoa, and then right when the video came back, it was like the gate post was right here, and it was like, video back, BAM! That's all I saw. It was like, video smash, purple foam pool thingy. That actually might all be recorded, actually. So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. So I didn't do good. And it was cold as hell and windy as hell. And really good sloppy Joe, though. That was a plus. So, with the learning experience and the food, I would say it was definitely worth $10. I mean, you'd be a fucking asshole if you were to say that wasn't worth $10. I mean, you'd be... They should invite you back if you felt that way. I mean, it's $10 goddamn dollars. But anyway, I was very frustrated. And when I left, I was thinking, like, I'm probably never going to do this again, but then I got the sand out of my vag and was like, yeah, I'll do it again. But anyways, this guy. I've only got 2 minutes of flight time in it so far, but it was 2 glorious minutes. The only problem is that it is not good for about 50% of the reason why I got it. I got it because I thought that I would be able to fly this around in my 2-bedroom apartment. And there's no way in hell that it is safe to fly this thing inside my 2-bedroom apartment. It is a mean machine. It screams. I don't know if you can tell from this video, but these motors are super notchy. Look at that. Those are some strong magnets in there. Yeah, this thing screams. I haven't touched any of the tuning or anything. The maiden flight was very rough at first because everything was backwards. Thankfully, I caught most of it in beta flight. Yaw, or roll, was reversed. And it looked like everything else was in line when I would move it around in beta flight, but when I took it out at first, and I didn't realize it at first because I was fighting extreme wind, and this thing can handle it, just not very well. I mean, I was like going like that and barely moving. And it killed my battery super fast. So I've only got about 30 minutes of flight time on it. Anywho, where's it going? Oh yeah, yaw was reversed when I first started flying, and I didn't notice it right away. I thought it was the wind kicking my ass, but no, it was me not being able to control it properly. So yeah, then I just popped into the transmitter and reversed that, and it was good to go. And for about 2 minutes, I was flying this bad boy very nicely. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I was like going up and like power diving over the tree in front of our apartment. It's awesome. It is awesome. How awesome it is makes up for me not being able to fly to my apartment. But I have a full-fledged tiny whoop now for that. So at least on a super rainy, shitty day like it was all this afternoon, I can still get my fix with a tiny whoop. Which I can do acro with, but I have to learn how to do it because it's borderline impossible. It is impossible so far. I did manage to get one roll in, but I was losing too much altitude and I couldn't pull back up from it. Alright, so yeah, that was today. I pray to Lord Jesus and everything holy in this world that tomorrow morning is at least dry. I don't care how windy or cold it is, as long as it's dry. I will be ripping some packs first thing in the morning with this bad mammer jammer because I am kid and wife free tomorrow. Yes! At least for the majority of the day. I know it's horrible that I'm that excited about that, but oh man, it's been 2 very long days, and to be able to just do whatever the hell I want tomorrow sounds like absolutely heavenly joy. So, I'm not going to start editing yet. I don't want to. I just want to sit on the couch, have a few more cocktails, relax, watch like 37 fucking drone YouTube videos, maybe pass it on the couch for a little while, and crawl into bed. And wake up in the morning, rip some packs at the Blade, rip some packs at my 5-inch, maybe even rip some tiny whoop packs. And then I'm going to start editing. Yep. Oh yeah, biggest complaint about this thing, battery strap, absolutely worthless. I can't even, why would they not put at least like a tiny little hooky thing, you know, so you can like, and you know, like you do with all the rest of the battery straps on quads. It's ridiculously useless. But I'm hoping I have some Velcro strips, and I'm hoping that I can just hot glue some, hot glue a Velcro pad to the bottom of this thing and then to my packs. And I know it's silly, but I don't know if hot gluing something to a battery will wreck it. I have to ask a couple people before I go ahead and do that. I doubt it, but you never know. Those light poles are finicky. Anywho, enough rambling. That's it. Yeah. Yep. It's so awesome, man. I can't wait to fly in the morning. Please let the weather be good, and at least dry. That's all I care about. But anywho, I hope you guys had a good Saturday. And I hope you have a good Sunday. And we'll see you tomorrow.